Okay, here we are. I have my Traxxas Slash low center gravity 4x4 with some X0-1 parts. It's got X0-1 carriers, X0-1 axles, X0-1 diffs front and rear. It's all very similar to the Slash. It's kind of neat. The Traxxas makes things kind of transferable. I've upgraded this one. This was my fast buggy. It hits over 100 with the gearing it's got in there right now. I got a 2054 and I run a 3S LiPo with the stock 2-pole system. Getting the 4-pole, I'm going to try that in the other vehicle I have and then maybe put it in this one depending, but I think the 2-pole will still have more top speed. We'll see about that. Anyways, the little CV boots, that's a good wear point for the axles. That those tend to need, especially if you're going to run in the dirt or run on the street, they still get dry and they wear out. Something to think about. It's one of the maintenance costs because it runs about $30 for those front and rear. For 2 sets. I got the Hot Racing motor mount. I got the, what is it, this one? Can't remember what this one is. Hot Racing black motor plate that's ribbed also, cut out. I got the Hot Racing heat sink on there. And then I swapped out the fan on it because I didn't like the cheap fans that they use, sorry. But I did like the motor mount. The heat sink here. Basically, these things spin about 15,000 RPMs. They're set up right to the receiver, which receives about, I think it's about 6 amps on that or whatever. So that's enough to draw those at max speed. Running the Robinson Racing gears, and I'm still running the plastic here, using the telemetry. And I've also put in, you can kind of see it there. It's looks very shiny as opposed to the other black stock ones. I took the clutch pads from the E-Revo and put that in there. That was a nice, easy upgrade. It fits right in, and they last. I think I've run through, this is my second set, so about 2.5, 3 years of running with a clutch like that. I've only gone through two sets. That's pretty good. That's my second. I run with a buggy body on this one, so I've got the Slash. The Rally rear end, and I run an RPM front without the bumper, so it just has the skid. Let's see, I got some of my bug bodies and stuff right over here, and some of my other bodies are all bodies lying all over the place, piling up on the floor. I got my buddy's truck parts of stuff over here, another truck. That's mine that I'm going to be doing the 4-pole on. I think it'll be fun, except I'm going to get new rims. Those kind of suck. Anyway, back to this one. Sorry, I digress. Part of probably having OCD. I got these, I found the guy off of eBay for these fans for Yeah Racing. These are really great fans. They blow about 5 grams of air as opposed to about 0.8 for the stock Traxxas ones. What else have I done to this thing? I'm trying to think what I've done. Oh, the Proline suspension kit, and I cut off the plastic things that came out here on the stock just so I could get my bug body and still have some protection. You can see I do run this one quite a bit. I did just replace the chassis. I did replace the front end piece on here, and I rebuilt the steering recently. So that's all just, wow, in the last couple days. But it's a lot of fun. The neat thing is with the app, being able to go into some different settings like high-speed run, stuff like that, and be able to just set your rates. Can't do that with a regular remote, so you can with the one that you can adjust everything on, that has the I have the iPhone 3S on there with mine, and I've gone through a lot of these remotes. These remotes have they've had a firmware software problem, talking to each other. So I've gone through quite a bit of these. I've gotten them off of eBay instead of getting them through Traxxas because it takes too long, and I found them cheaper with everything. So that's something to think about too if you're going to continue to run with the stock type parts, although these are, I think, still pretty good. I do have RPM towers, shock towers, and the new attachment points. I've cut them off too if they weren't already short, and filed them down. I do have the telemetry on this one, so I have the heat for the motor temperature, and then it also reads the voltage, and then it goes off the back. And here has a little magnet, so it reads the gear ratio setting that you have to program into on the app. These are some great tires. Since I'm running the X0-1 parts on this one, I'm running the GRPs. I think these are soft. They're not super soft. I have another set I'm going to be running here shortly and doing a review on these. I've run these for a long time. If you watch my other videos, you could see when I started running them. These have done really, really well, but they're getting down there, especially some of them up here. I mean, I already rotated them. This one was getting kind of bald. They still got life in them. I'm gonna run them down until they're gone. So, alrighty, guys. Things to think about. You know, when you have vehicles like this, is the maintenance cost. What does it cost to really run something like this? Have some fun. Well, you know, if you crash, you know, it could be an A-arm. That's a set for $12 plus other parts. So I'd say $20, $30, $40 at least on a minimal crash. Sometimes I crashed the other day, so I needed to go buy some A-arms to hit the yellow pole out here. Got a little too slick and slid into that just slightly. Anyways, I pulled the right in here for the attachments for the right in here. Go through here. Well, I pulled it right out of the bulkhead, you know, the shock tower. So I went ahead and threaded it from the back and used a plastic cap, which is like for one of the body things. When you put on, trying to think, you know, when you put on the little plastic things that go back here, just the little rivets with the plastic caps, I have those, so I use those up front, and I'll see how that goes. I've always had trouble with the front anyways, always coming loose. The back isn't as bad, so that little mod's not too bad, and I think the plastic little nuts on there will hold pretty good. Let me see if I can get a shot of that. Oh, there we go, you can kind of see it right there, right underneath the sway bar. So I've done a few things. I got the diffs off of eBay. I paid $25 about, here we go, 25 or 30 bucks, I think, about a piece shipped. It's about 50, 60 bucks for the set. I thought that was pretty cheap. I took them out, rebuilt them, put in the 100K for the street. For the high speed, I run 30K in my other trucks. I'm happy with the setup so far. You know, the GTR shocks from the Ultimate Edition are really nice. I'm running, let's see, see, what am I running on there again? 50 in the front, I think, on this one. Yep, 50 weight. And I run 40 in the back on the street. And in the other trucks, like the one I have up here, I run 40 in the front and 30 in the back. So I've gone all the way up to pretty high on some of the. Let's see here, right over here. Some of my shock oil is here. I've gone from 30 all the way to 70. I started at 70 and went backwards just to see. 70 is too much, 60 was too much, so bought two that I didn't really need, but hey, oh well, that happens. I do like the 50 and the 40, and then I've got a couple things extra for diff, the 30K for the off-road trucks and the 100K for the super fast speed buggy. And I got more things over here to use later. A couple bodies, another bug body. A couple more cool bodies. Got bodies here behind my truck. Got the Dukes of Hazzard, lots of different bodies. But anyways, back to this thing again. So, yep, maintenance costs. I was blowing through bearings before left and right with the stock Traxxas carriers. They're just much smaller than the X0-1. Not that they're, well, not like it's going from an 1/8 scale to a 1/10. It's not that much bigger, like a buggy thing. But anyhow, I went to the X0-1 carriers axles, and I just noticed I could run a lot longer, a lot faster, and not have to worry about replacing the bearings as often. So I thought that was worth the money, because I'm not replacing bearings left and right, and those aren't cheap either, plus your time. So this one's pretty dialed in. Got the alignment set the way I like it. I like the Pro lines for here, especially if you're going to run the 1/8 scale, because their offset's different. You know, they go in. So you still even lose a little bit, even though I got the wider track on there, which is kind of interesting. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Tread line up there on the outside. So it's just Well, this one's cockeyed anyways, and that's the front. But they're about even. They really are about even right now. So I think this one might be just a tiny bit less. Let's try to do the front to front. Let's see how much different that is. Oh, it's about the same too, from what I can tell. It's about the same. They might have a tiny bit more actually on this one, but not by much. I know on some of the other rims that I run, it goes even less in, and it makes it a little interesting, especially on I got some buggy wheels up here. The what are these, like the Lewis, something like that. So that really changes it even more. Let's see what these are. Yeah, the Rocket. Those are nice too, but they grip a little too much. So, what's the best tire to run on these things? Well, it depends. You know what you're going to be doing. I like to do some drifting. I like to go off road. I like to do lots of things. The 12mm hex, kind of a pain in the you know what. I think the 17 is better. That's one reason I had to go to this, is because I was just stripping rims, and I looked for something that wouldn't balloon like these guys for doing top speed. I think a 2S with those type of tires and stuff is okay. You want to go 3S? No, it's not even worth. Not even drivable. You got to tune the thing down, which I do on the steering and stuff to drive real fast. The percentages. I have several different sets of tires here that I've gone through, so I've driven lots of different things. The ones from China, you know, you get what you pay for. They're going to be pre-glued on the higher end ones. They're going to come with better foams. The rubber is going to be a better material. The ones from China, you know, I glued these. The rubber's not the best, and the plastic isn't the best either. They tend to break, just like this one. And I've taken like the little bread ties and glued them, cut pieces off of a bread tie, and use that when I can't find the plastic, because it's, you know, it's hard to tell, but I've fixed this rim a lot up with bread ties, especially over in this area, right over in there. Anything to save a buck and keep the rim on, I guess. You know, is kind of how it goes. But I'm pretty anal about my things. I like them clean. I like them to run good. I don't like to bash on my things to the point where everything's falling apart. I don't mind driving hard and such, but you know, I still want it to be you know, maintained and everything. So definitely the bearings, something you have to worry about. I just redid the motor. I've done this one. I haven't even redone since I bought it. I checked it a few times, and I'm really surprised. I put this on, geez, I can't even remember. I'd have to check, but it's been a really long time since I put this on with the bigger bearing in there, and I haven't had to replace it yet. So I'm kind of amazed. I'm gonna get some other ones on eBay just for a backup, because I don't have any, and I need to get some more you know, like a rebuild kit for these. But I did these recently, so they're still good to go. As far as that goes, I love the truck. You know, just like I said, I had some issues with going through transmitters and things with the software, some other stuff like that. But it's a great bashing truck. It's a lot of fun. It can morph into lots of different things. I kind of like the bug bodies for my high speed. This one I cut the fenders out. There we go. It's my monster one. I cut the fenders out so it gets nice air through there. And I cut the back off of this thing, and then I bolted it onto the car so that it looks really cool. And then when you crash, it doesn't hit it like and start messing up everything. So I just put a couple of, oops, yep, one there. So I just bolted it to the shock tower. So other than that, there you go. It's a very fun vehicle to drive. It's a fun vehicle to have. It's expensive to run. You know, once a week or so, be a couple months, you know, maybe before you have to do anything. But if you're running it consistently, especially in the dirt, you're going to be replacing bearings and other parts as they break. So those are things you'll have to think about, whether or not getting into RC is for you or not. But it is expensive, but it is a lot of fun. So all I can say is, you know, I like doing it, and I'm going to continue to, and if it breaks and I have to save up a little bit, it's kind of what I'm doing in my other ones, waiting for my motor to come in. Had to wait a while for that too, so anyhow, that did smoke on me the other day. I redid the attachments on it and tried it again, and this one is fried. And I used to have the fan on there, that's why it's got the little chewed up marks. So it's time to get another one. I got the 4-pole coming. My motor's still good, you know, so I'm gonna keep that one. I'm not gonna send it back to Traxxas. I was able to get something again off of eBay for the difference, and what I'd have to pay for a motor for a backup, it was worth it for the extra, you know, 20-30 bucks. So not too bad. I am gonna upgrade my other ones, and you know, little by little, maybe get the motor plate, motor mount, stuff like that, like this one, and you know, just keep some spare parts around. I do have some other diffs here that I've rebuilt before, and those are the stock Traxxas ones with part X0-1 parts in there. It doesn't have the which one is it? The big oh, the stuff on the outside. It has I-beam in the middle on these, but not the stuff on the outside. So that's not quite. There are differences in those between the Slash and it's mostly just going to be internal inside the diff part when you take it apart, and the gears that are inside the thing in the middle in the diff. So it's hard to see till you get it apart. But other than that, the casings are the same, and the bearings are the same. So that's kind of interesting, you know, that they are like that. Just basically the only difference is it's going to be internal on these, with having that, it's like a bow tie in the center and 2 metal things on the outside for a little more structural integrity, which I thought would be good if you're going to go fast. But you know, maybe later I'll do a Mamba Monster in this thing. But for now, it definitely hits close to 100. It's fun enough to drive, and I get the telemetry and all those things, so it's programmable with my my phone for everything. So it's really fun. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to ask. I check my stuff, you know, here and there, so I'll get back to you. Thanks a lot for watching. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.